Simon & Schuster Audio and Grove Atlantic present
What the Night Brings, written by Mark Billingham and read by the author. I do solemnly and sincerely declare and affirm that I will well and truly serve the King in the office of constable, with fairness, integrity, diligence, and impartiality, upholding fundamental human rights and according equal respect to all people, and that I will, to the best of my power, cause the peace to be kept and preserved, and prevent all offences against people and property, and that while I continue to hold the said office, I will, to the best of my skill and knowledge, discharge all the duties thereof faithfully, according to law. The Police Constable's Oath of Attestation. Part 1. Nobody Likes Us. Chapter 1. It was funny how a certain sort of man's attitude changed dramatically when he was the one staring down the barrel of a gun, or happily, in this case, several of them. It wasn't the first time Thorne had witnessed behaviour so seemingly out of character when someone got nicked, when they knew their future was no longer looking as rosy as it had before half a dozen armed officers crashed into their front room. There might have been the odd one who had to be dragged away spitting and lashing out, but in Thorne's experience they were the minority. And even then, it had all felt like a pantomime staged for any family, friends, and business associates who happened to be around at the time, a last, if pointless, hurrah. A lot of it was down to movies and TV dramas, Thorne reckoned, a cliché every bit as tired as the detective faced with one last dangerous case before retirement. The hard man who went down fighting, vowing revenge on all those doing the nicking, and swearing that no prison could hold him, even if, statistically, the majority of His Majesty's bang-ups made a fairly decent job of it. Thankfully, Nick Cresswell was showing rather more restraint. Thorne watched as the armed officers withdrew from the room, and one of the uniforms led Cresswell's dumbstruck wife out into the hall. While two other local uniforms kept hold of the prisoner's arms, Thorne nodded to D.I. Dave Holland, who stepped forward to recite the caution. Thorne studied Cresswell's reaction, such as it was to begin with. It wasn't as if the man hadn't been arrested before, though Thorne knew that few of those arrests had amounted to very much, and more importantly, none had been for murder. Cresswell looked across at him when Holland said the M word. Thorne smiled and nodded. Yeah, sorry, Nick. What, did you think we'd gone to all this trouble because you'd not taken your library books back?
Sample complete. Ready to continue?